Hi there, welcome along to Sky Sports News. Breaking news is that Scotland exit Euro 2024. I'm no Scot, but sport can be so cruel, and even I'm gutted for Scotland. Just tell us about those final few moments, Chris, and how it all unfolded.
First of all, it's Kevin Schobert that gets the goal for Hungary to win it, and they're in a fine chance of getting to the knockout stage. They're going to have to wait and see what happens. The last few games will finish in 3 points, but for Scotland, they were on the attack at the end there, a corner kick, and just when you think that you've got an opportunity to go and score a goal, Hungary do what they do and counter-attack and break away and score. Overall, in terms of the opportunities created, they definitely created more chances. But I think, forget football tonight, forget the performance. I think that most important thing is Varga, the Hungarian striker, obviously stretchered off with covers. His teammates are obviously, everybody's worried about him. Hopefully, as I said, he's okay. We're hearing now that he's away to hospital for further checks. So hopefully he's okay. As I said, there's one Hungary are obviously an opportunity of maybe getting into the latter stages of this competition. But I'm sure even the whole of their country will just be praying tonight that man's okay. And from us here as well, I hope he is.
Yeah, absolutely echo those sentiments, Chris. It does put things in perspective. But if you're a Scotland fan and you're up the other end, there's a corner, the ball's bouncing around in the Hungary box. You think someone just get a head on it, get a toe end on it, just pop it in the corner, and they break and counter. As I said, it's so cruel. You kind of felt that this could be Scotland's time to get out of a group, but it just wasn't meant to be.
No, it was. I mean, it was obviously our 12th major competition. We're still waiting for that, a team to get out the group stages. But, I mean, I think we didn't do enough to go and win tonight with a lot of the ball. We never really created much. I think, and it'll be one thing that Steve Clarke has to answer. I think there's a lot of people out there already saying it's negative and everything, but I'm not buying into that because I think there's more ways to win a game of football. If we open up, we can get punished. And that's what happened towards the end of the game. Yes, you're chasing, trying to find a winner. But when you're so open at the back, you've got you run the risk of losing something at the other end, and that's exactly what happened with tonight with Hungary. I'm just watching Steve Clarke right now. I mean, he does cut a dejected figure as he walks up the tunnel. I think it was very disappointing that. This is the way it's ended for Scotland because, as you say there, a corner kick in the last moments, a chance to put it in. There was a couple of oohs and ahs just before the corner kick came. Shankland got in and tried to cut it back and it got cut out. I think if you go back to, I still think if you go back to that penalty kick with Stuart Armstrong, it could have been given. It'll be surprising. It'll be interesting to see what's said from it, why he wasn't sent to the monitor to have a look at it. But I felt as if it was a penalty kick. He got his body in, and Orban, I think it was, barges through the back of him. But listen, I think we can dissect the game all you want. You can go on and on and on. We didn't do enough to win the game of football tonight. Yes, we had a lot of the ball, a lot of possession, but never really created as much as we would have expected. And Hungary obviously hit us in the counter-attack and get the winning goal. But I'll say it again. Listen, Hungary, they're in my chance. We're going home. But I just hope that Varga's okay.
Absolutely, and obviously it'll be interesting to see the reaction we'll hear from Steve Clarke in the not-too-distant future. The moment that the fans at the fan park, absolute disbelief when that goal went in. I mean, what will it mean to the nation of Scotland, Chris? Because you've got a feeling that the Tartan Army and the whole country believed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's typical of Scotland, isn't it? We believe that we can go to tournaments and put on a show, and the big thing, I think there's a bit of heartache there tonight because there was a genuine belief that you could get out of this group. I think this group of players has shown so much over a period of time now where you felt as if this could be the group to go and do it. But when you break it down and you look at Germany at the start, very difficult game to start with. Switzerland, they're serial qualifiers for major competitions. They get to the latter stages of competitions as well, so that was always going to be a difficult game as well. We came away with that with a creditable draw. But then tonight, I think when you know what's at stake, to go in there and win the game of football, there was just that little lacking in quality. And look, listen. It's football and that's what happens, but I would say overall in terms of chances the best team won tonight, but we've just got to dust ourselves down and go again. listen, it's been a long time since we've been to major competitions. We've now been to back-to-back Euros. I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions to be answered from Steve Clarke over the next period of time. But whatever happens, I hope that he's the man to lead us into, obviously, a Nations League coming up, which is going to be very difficult as well. And the teams that we've got in there, it might be difficult to go and win those games. I think Portugal, Poland are definitely there. You're then looking at it saying, qualifying for the next World Cup, I just hope that he's the man it's there to take us forward, because Croatia's our team as well. So I just hope that Steve Clarke's the man to lead us to the World Cup, because he's shown that he can get us there. He knows this squad. He knows that there's weaknesses in it. He knows there's strengths in it, and he's found a way to get everybody playing in a way that has allowed us to function. It's allowed us to qualify for back-to-back Euros. The next step, can we make that World Cup? And I just hope that Steve Clarke's the man that's given that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and lots to be proud of. I mean, the qualifying campaign, the wins, particularly against Spain, late Scott McTominay goals when Scotland were finding the back of the net during qualifying. And yes, it hasn't quite happened, but from what you're saying, you're sensing that there's more to come from Steve Clarke, and a little bit more creativity, a little bit more clinical edge in front of goal, and we could start to see Scotland progress. Yeah,
I think from where we have been in 1998 was a long time ago in terms of qualifying for World Cups, and then you look at the last Euros and this Euros as well. The last one didn't really have that good a feeling about it as well because of COVID times. It didn't feel like a proper tournament as such, albeit we qualified and you're delighted to be there. But you felt as if this one was obviously as a proper tournament. But the fans there, the full voice, they've got behind this group of players magnificently well, and they'll probably still be in the stadium singing right now, albeit they'll be dejected and disappointed. But they can be proud of this group of players and what they've achieved. But again, there'll be players or ex-players sat in this seat, or maybe not this one, but in this position.
You're the only one for this seat, and for tomorrow morning's seat as well. You're booked.
True. But there'll be plenty of ex-players have sat here and said that disappointed and criticised it. There's a lot to be positive about this group. Yes, we're disappointed not to get out the group stages again, but for where we have been to get to back-to-back Euros, there's a lot of credit. But the players they've set the bar and they've set the level that they can get to, and I just get the feeling they've just dropped below that. But I'm just seeing the penalty kick incident again here, and I cannot believe that has not been given as a penalty kick.
Yeah, we're watching. I cannot believe it. Stuart Armstrong has his arm across the defender. Defender has his arm across him, and Armstrong's goal side. Is it the fact that it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, in that he's grabbed his shirt there and he almost pulled the defender onto him?
I mean, that's natural football position, though. You get your arm up to protect it when you get in between the ball and the man. You're there, you use your body to protect it. I mean, the knee goes right in the back of Stuart Armstrong's, or the back of his, the top of his calf. I just cannot believe there's not been a penalty given. And that would have changed everything. But but the usual. I think that if you're sitting here moaning about it, then you're seen as a bad loser. But there'll be people not have seen it, and then I think once you see it, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. As I said, he's got his arm across. He's just come right through the back of Orban, straight into the back of Stuart Armstrong, and just knocks him to the deck. I cannot believe, and maybe that's why Steve Clarke's so unhappy that he stormed out of tunnel, because it is a penalty kick all day long. And as I said, if the referee had been given the opportunity to go to the monitor to see it, then he might have been able to do, to rectify his or correct his wrong decision. It's good play from Stuart Armstrong. He gets his body in and invites the defender to make a challenge. Yes, you've got your arms up. Both of them have got their hands up. You can't just barge through the back of somebody. And that would have changed everything. But listen, it wasn't to be. We've been beaten 1-0 by a team who have created more chances than us, and overall probably deserved just to win the game, but it's disappointing again.
OK, in the cold light of day, given it was a must-win game, and that penalty decision aside, do we just ultimately say just not quite enough quality, or they didn't quite do enough to get over that, given you would have liked to have seen a little bit more, particularly in that final third?
I mean, I think I'd like to have seen a little bit more in the final third. I mean, obviously the changes were made, but let's not be kidded. Lyndon Dykes missing is a huge miss for Scotland. You know, the way he goes about his business, and usually he would be the one to replace Che Adams, or you know, if he starts, Che Adams comes on, Shankland comes on. You know, so I think that he has been a blow, as has Hickey, as has Patterson. You know, Lewis Ferguson's missing as well, although he wasn't you know, a regular starter. But you know, you can get through. When we miss, you know, 2 or 3 of our starting players, you know, it's a big drop-off from what we've got, and you know, we can't cope with it. But there's no point in sitting here and making excuses. You know, this team has hit the heights that has got us to these major competitions. They fell below it again. You know, there's no doubt that the criticism after the Germany game, the bounce back against Switzerland, but this would have been, or this was seen as a group that we had a chance to come out of. You know, I wasn't buying into the whole thing of it's going to be a foregone conclusion, the whole Germany thing. These 2 games will pick up 4 points. It was going to be difficult, but you know, it was an opportunity that we failed again.
We failed again. Never mind, Chris. Thanks very much for your contribution. You're back on the sofa tomorrow morning, so but you might want to look away now. Because a familiar tale of disappointment for Scotland. 12 major tournaments, 12 exits at the group stages, a run stretching back to the 1954 World Cup. Not even Chris remembers that one. They didn't qualify for the European Championship until 1992, but the same story at the Euros, culminating in this latest exit in Germany. Right, for more, we can cross now to Stuttgart and join Sky News correspondent Rob Harris. Rob.
Absolutely devastated to see their Euros campaign end, leaving with just the 1 point. They were so close to keeping their hopes alive by securing a 0-0 draw, but then in the 100th minute, conceding that goal to Kevin Schobart, he was the end of a breakaway by Hungary as Scotland were trying to get their own winner, and then the stadium erupted in celebrations, and the fans around me now are blaming Steve Clarke, the manager, believing he perhaps didn't get the best out of these players. This was a tournament that began for them with a 5-1 hammering by Germany in the opening match. Then the second game of the group, they turned it around to at least get a point against Switzerland. It was going to be a precious point, it seemed, but when it came to the crunch in this final Group A game, they didn't have enough. They barely threatened the Hungary goal at all. And as they did try to push for a winner, it was to their cost, because that's when Hungary launched their own attack forward to claim the winner and to keep their own hopes of progressing in the Euros alive.